Screamer coming at you with another blog. This time I was talking to a few friends this week about Diaclones and Microman. Well, Microman, I said that wrong. Anyhow, I thought I'd do a little blog on that. Some of these have been, I've seen some of these reissued, but these are all originals, to make it clear before I start the blog. These are pre-Transformer toys, designs that were made and then they made them into Transformers later. I want to point out one of my favorites first, which is a Diaclone that would later become Bluestreak's design. I'm Prowls, but it's the blue Bluestreak. A lot of fans say, is it existing? Well, it never was made in a Transformer design, but it is a blue Bluestreak. A very, very cool piece, and it was very hard to get. And we do have the box for it. That is the Takara and Diaclone. And then another one of my favorites, which I want to point out first, my favorites, is the Marlboro Wheeljack. As you can see, it says Marlboro on the side, and these little guys are what used to go inside the Diaclone vehicles. See if I can show the... It's even got blue wings, as you can tell. Pull him out for a second and just see the front of it. They never released this in the States because of cigarettes. They didn't want to encourage kids to smoke cigarettes. But it is a Marlboro Wheeljack. Right back in there. And then we have here a red Trax, which is Diaclone, of course. He has the wings too, so he can fly. This one I know they had a reissue of it, but this is the original. As you can tell, he became Perceptor later on whenever Transformers released him. Another interesting toy. This one you could almost call Megatron's brother. He's Browning, and he transforms into a gun too, but as you can tell, it's a different type of gun. But he is definitely a pistol and ready to follow his brother. This is the original Diaclone that would later become Megatron whenever he was recolored into silver. But this is definitely an original Diaclone. And then I want to show you a red Sunstreaker. We picked him up several years ago and then found the hands at another place, another spot, but he's definitely a cool little toy. All coming out before the Transformer line was released. And then a black Ironhide and a blue Trailbreaker. Definitely cool pieces. I remember the first time I got a Diaclone was a black Ironhide. It was at a flea market several years back, about 95. I paid $1.50 for them and I didn't know what it was. So I wrote some fans, and as soon as I wrote them, I was like, oh, I don't know what it is, but I'll take it. And I was like, nah, I think I'll keep a hold of this one. And this is another one. This is Rumble. It was released years ago before the toy was, the Transformer toy. I'd say about, most of these came out in the early 80s, around 81. And this one here was released Shockwave, but it was released at Radio Shack, and most people refer to him as Shackwave. But as you can tell, there are some differences, like the handle. But he's referred to most of the time as Shackwave. And this is just an interesting one that's, it's sturdy stuff, but it's just an interesting character that Tony found years ago that looks just like Shockwave. They've got some differences in places though, but it's definitely a mold design like Shockwave himself. And then I want to show this Soundwave as Cassette Man. That was pre-Transformers 2 before they came out. Very cool piece. And for today, that's going to be it, except for this really cool Omega Supreme mold. Now this was years before Omega Supreme came out, and it was released. But it's a really sweet piece. And for today, that's it. I'll have to dig out some more goodies like recallers, some that were knockoffs, because I mean we have a ton of cool knockoffs that I would like to show. But for today, that's it. Until next time, knowing is half the battle. Screamers.